I'm ready.
Chief? Chief? All right. Sounds like the chief's ready.
All right. We're live.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay, I'll start by calling the attendance. Councilman McPartlin,
Here.
Supervisor Syed,
Here.
here. Deputy Chief Stevens is here.
Here.
Deputy Supervisor Faminsky. Deputy Supervisor Faminsky. Town Clerk Martinelli.
Here.
Town Attorney Briggs.
Here.
Judge Scagnelli.
Here.
Judge Swinton.
I'm here, Fran.
Executive Secretary Backus.
Here.
Town Attorney Kim.
Here.
PBA President Mara. PBA President Mara. Fire District 1 Chief Lingenfelter.
Here.
Comptroller Alam.
Here.
And Janet Wen.
Here.
Is there anyone else on the call?
Hi, Rosemary's out. Morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Did everyone get the minutes this morning? And it was kind of late.
I got him.
I got them.
Okay. And would anyone make the motion to accept November minutes?
Motion to approve November's minutes.
Second?
I will second.
Okay. The police department has suspended public service programs at this time, which includes child safety seat checks and installation, citizen fingerprinting, and unoccupied motor vehicle lockout assistant response until further notice. This is due to the COVID numbers climbing in the area. We're also going to move to take phone reports when we can. We're trying to cut down contact with the public as much as we can. We don't want any of our officers coming down with COVID. Right now, we have sufficient supplies of PPE, face masks, latex gloves, hand sanitizers, wipes. We'll probably be ordering more this month. We've signed on with Lexapol, and we have a webinar December 3rd. Once that occurs, we'll start moving forward with that. I did want to report about case number 180670. Detective John Connor conducted a felony investigation with exceptional diligence, made an arrest of a defendant in conjunction with the theft of jewelry valued at over $11,000 from K Jewelers, which occurred November 9th at Mohawk Commons. He did a really, really good job with this. Police officer Ian Munger also assisted in the investigation. And this arrest also closed out felony cases for Schenectady Police Department and Colony Police Department. Those two guys did a really good job on this case. I'm really proud of them. We had our first meeting for the Police Reform and Reinvention Committee that convened on November 16th. And myself, together with Supervisor Syed, delivered a PowerPoint presentation identifying pertinent information, bias issues relative to policing, and defined goals for the committee. Brian Backus has broken the committee down into smaller committees, and those meetings are set up for this month. Patrol fleet, one radar sign the highway department has gotten out on Wyoming, and another one of the radar signs has been deployed on Pierce Road. Those are up and running. One of our new patrol cars is presently is still at Niskayuna and a tire for upfitting. The other one is in service in patrol. The town hall building lock system, we did have a walkthrough with the contractors, so they know how the building is to be set up. So that's ready for them to start working on. Regards to training, Police Officer Kohlmeyer and Walter attended crowd management training that was provided by Troy PD. And Sergeant Cochan and Sergeant Party will be attending civil disturbance training with the Schenectady County Sheriff's Department on December 3rd. Myself, Deputy Chief Stevens, Detective Sergeant Twitty, and Sergeant Party attended use of force training that was conducted at New York State Police Academy on November 18th and 19th. That had actually been scheduled for the spring, but was postponed. And the Police One Academy has been rolled out, and we are going to start that actually today for the police officers. And this month, we're starting with 3 courses for all the officers to take.
Chief, just one thing I'd like to talk about while we're here talking about training and our officers. Generally, general purposes, how is staffing at the department and your staffing levels?
So staffing levels are not the best right now, and that actually was one thing I was going to talk about in executive session.
Okay, that's fine. I wanted to bring it up in open session, and that's fine. We will actually, as you said, discuss specifics about that in executive session. But wanted to bring that, out in the public meeting.
Okay, well, we are running short, and we are having to have a lot of mandates, and that puts a lot of stress on the officers. So,
okay, so we'll further discuss that in detail in the executive session. Thank you.
okay. Citizen issues. I did just want to discuss a little bit. We had talked about Onondaga Road, the no parking that they had requested. I know, I don't think Laura Robertson is on. She did go and talk to Harry at the mobile station, and I've driven by there a few times. He's, as far as I can tell, is no longer having cars park on that corner there. So that seemed, I mean, as far as when I've seen, I haven't seen cars parked on that corner where it appears that the citizens were complaining about. And the speeding vehicles, the Clifton Park Road complaint. We did do a traffic study there. There is no speed issue. I mean, people do periodically pass that stop sign, past the stop signs. I mean, in any of our neighborhoods, people pass stop signs. We can't sit at stop signs all the time. I really think her biggest complaint is parking at a particular house where there's a lot of cars. I kind of feel like that's her main complaint. Again, I did talk with Laura Robertson. There is a solution for that particular residence, which I'm going to follow up with that homeowner and make a suggestion for the parking at that residence. And the speeding complaint on Oakmont, we did a traffic study there. There are no no issues at that location, no speeding issues, no accident to support any complaint at that location. And so far, I have, for the No Shave November, we've raised a little more than the $32.25. I've extended that through December to see if we can't reach our goal of $5,000. The one other thing that I did forget to have on the agenda, only because it arrived yesterday, was we received our new Ricky, which is our fingerprinting. It takes fingerprints and photos, and that arrived yesterday and will be set up December 10th. And really didn't have community events this month. Michelle, do you have anything? Town clerk?
Yes. I just wanted to say that we are starting to give Dave Stern a list of all the delinquent dogs. There's quite a few of them.
Okay.
So hopefully he'll be able to help us out in that matter. And also Ag and Market inspection is coming up. She's trying to get a hold of Dave to go through our annual inspection. So I'm looking forward to that coming up probably this month.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Okay. Judges, court issues?
Go ahead, Pete.
Well, yeah, we were doing pretty well with the COVID precautionary measures that we've taken. We've got plexiglass in the courtroom. We've limited the number of people coming into the courtroom, and I thought we were gaining on it. Unfortunately, the spike in COVID has other plans for us. So we will. I have a tentatively scheduled for a preliminary conference tomorrow evening. If it goes, it'll be done remotely. So we've adjourned all our cases into January, and we're hopeful that we can resume live calendar call at least. Steve?
Yeah, and it's just we're in a goofy situation because obviously the building shut down, so the courtroom is shut down, but OCA hasn't yet closed us down. I think they probably will shortly. So we're basically trying to function under two sets of rules that aren't always
Consistent.
right. They also, OCA did though decrease the number of people we can have in a courtroom now. So when we start back up, that may require us to reconfigure how we're actually going to handle these cases, because we went from 50% capacity to the lesser of 25% or 10 people. So by the time you do a judge, a clerk, a defense attorney, 2 officers, you're at 5. So we can't have many people in the courtroom at a time. So I'm not sure how we'll, if that's still the rule when we start back up, we'll obviously have to spread things out a little bit more than we were even before.
So is it your recommendation then that we open the town hall for the court?
No, I think that the town has its rule. If they've closed the building, then we abide by the building is closed. We got used to handling a lot of stuff remotely. So arraignments and things like that, the judges can still go in and handle those because it's usually just the judge in. The issue is, as Judge Gagnelli was talking about, we have a felony hearing scheduled for tomorrow night. If that goes, that has to be done virtually, and that will involve testimony from witnesses, that will involve defense counsel, everything. It's a nightmare trying to do that virtually when you have a defendant housed at the jail, you have defense attorneys appearing from wherever, you have witnesses appearing from somewhere else, and a DA appearing from somewhere else. But
Right, and that requirement that the OCA or Judge Marks has said any proceeding that involves live testimony must be done remotely. Bench trials must be done remotely. But OCA says we can do our arraignments in person. And that we're navigating between, okay, the town hall is shut down. That's great. We know how to deal with that. So that's what Steve is referring to, that we're dealing with two different sets of rules.
Right. Well, that was why my question was, if you're recommending that we try to make some sort of accommodation for the court during certain times so that you can conduct your business.
I don't think that we could do it and still even meet OCA's requirement. Now that we're at 5 people in the courtroom, if we were going to do a felony hearing live, you're going to have the defendant brought from jail, probably 2 officers from the jail accompanying that defendant. Then you've got a defense counsel, the DA, and any witnesses. We're going to be over our number anyway, so we're going to have to do these virtually. It's just it's a logistical issue.
And as Steve says, I mean, even if we did the regular court night, we'd have to start like, I don't know, in the morning, because we'd have to limit the number of non-court personnel to about 5, and we'd have to stagger them. I mean, before the COVID, it wouldn't be unusual for us to handle 30 or 40 cases on a Wednesday evening, exclusive of vehicle and traffic matters.
Yeah, I'm just asking the question because
Sure.
We are closed, but other courts are open, and so I'm trying to, as you gentlemen are, trying to balance that out.
Yeah, but it's not really even an issue of the town hall being closed, because the other courts that are open, and there are other town halls that are closing, and so the courts are in the same situation. But even the courts that are open, with the new lesser of 10 people or whatever, they're running into the same problem, where they can't get everybody in the courtroom that they need for an in-person hearing. So we'll work through it. These are going to be a hassle for a while, and the felony hearings, unless the governor issues another executive order that tolls the time period for the felony hearings, which he hasn't done yet. But if he does that again, then that may resolve all this. Not in the best way, because it means you're going to be holding defendants on felony charges without a hearing longer than the statute normally allows you to.
Mm-hmm.
But it happened when we first shut down. I suspect it's going to happen again. So we'll deal with it.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to jump back to community events. I actually forgot to add 2 things. Our police officers did, on Monday before Thanksgiving, deliver meals to 10 or 11 families in Niskayuna. Rosemary, I think that was included with what you were working on.
Yeah, Fran, I think you were there right before I was, because I was there with the fire. Grant and I were there with the fire chiefs, and they said that you had just been there. So yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was great. There was so much, participation by our local law enforcement, including our Niskayuna police officers. That was a concern for the hungry, and that organization got out 2,800 meals to local families. So, kudos to you and your officers for volunteering your time that way, as well as other officers in the area, other fire personnel.
Thanks for speaking to that. And then also, I think Chief Lingenfelter is going to speak about it this weekend. Our officers went around with the fire department prior to the Toys for Tots drive, but I'll let Chief Lingenfelter speak about that. Dale? we lose him? Chief Lingenfelter, Fire Department.
Yeah, good morning. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Yeah, just to dovetail on the Toys for Tots event, that's an annual thing we do with Saunders Jewelry. And the guys expanded it a little bit this year based on some requests that came through the supervisor via email and also some that we got directly. We tried a little, I guess, a toy drive, for lack of a better term. They took one of the trucks, went through part of Old Niskayuna, and it was also in conjunction with one of the neighborhood groups there. And they collected toys up, and they had a Santa, and so it was kind of like a little Santa walk that we used to do years and years ago. And it was pretty successful. They collected up a lot of toys, and then they headed over to ShopRite to do the Stuff the Truck event as we did in previous years. Not as many gifts, which we kind of expected this year, but still, all in all, we collected quite a few gifts for the kids. So, both very positive events. We're also looking at maybe repeating the toy drive concept between now and Christmas at some point in some other neighborhoods. The guys are kind of working on that as we speak. But we definitely appreciate the help and support from the police department. Makes these things go a lot easier. Jumping back to the common theme for today, COVID. We have seen a significant increase in transports of COVID positive patients, more so than we did in the first outbreak. So more of these folks are at home, I think, and some of them are getting sicker. I don't think our hospitals are overwhelmed at this point, but it is probably headed in that direction. Hopefully it won't get there. Brookdale West on Union Street, they've actually cordoned off part of their second floor and created a COVID wing for all their residents who are COVID positive, so that they have them all in one area. They've put up some temporary zipper walls, they call them, and they've got dedicated staff working in those areas to attend to those residents. So they've actually, I think, done a great job. They were COVID negative right up until about 3 weeks ago, and then they started getting some cases popping up. So it's definitely on the increase. We've also had it hit us internally. One of our administrative staff for the board has come down positive, and we also have one of our responders right now. We have a test out. We're waiting to get results back, but we're pretty sure it's probably going to be positive. So no staffing issues as of yet, but we're of course watching out for that. Let's see, and we also the along the lines of training, the active shooter training that was scheduled last month did go through, and by all accounts seemed to be a pretty good success. We had 9 of our folks down there participating with that, along with the police department as well. And the feedback so far has been pretty positive. I think they're going to look at doing another similar type training next year. The interagency cooperation there is a tremendous step that we've never really done before outside of this unit. So I was glad to see that go through. Internally in our station, we are upgrading our computers. We're doing like a total upgrade replacement to get us up to Windows 10, to get away from Windows 7. So if anybody sends emails to myself or any of the staff and they're going unanswered, please pick up the phone, let us know, because we are also switching over our email system. So I don't want things to go unanswered that need to be addressed. And I think that is, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Dale. School district? Anything from school district? I don't see anybody on from there. Personnel, other. That's pretty much all I have for the meeting. Anyone have anything else? I would like to enter into executive session.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Bye,
Second.
everybody.
Take care, folks.
Second on the
Bye.
motion?
I'll second.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.